MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. In studio with us, we've got Tshepo Mohlala. He calls himself Creative Director, founder of Tshepo Jeans. He's telling us his incredible story. And for anyone out there, I was going to say in the fashion industry, but in any industry, to hear the story is a very important part of what will push us through when we want to give up. So let's come back to the story. So you tell your family now you're going to go into to become a fashion designer. And now what?
So drop out. I finished my year after. I inquire at the University of Johannesburg. I inquired a couple of fashion schools, and one that stood out for me, UJ, had a beautiful. The schooling was, I think it was fit for me and my personality, and also understood the environment quite well. The environment meaning Auckland Park. So I dropped out in 2011. I started at UJ. And I had to start paying for my own fees. So fashion school is not easy. You know, you get to class at 7 a.m. in the morning, and after all your classes, you need to do assignments and you need to do all of that. You have to leave at 7 p.m. at night. And in between, I was doing piece jobs, promotions, you name it, anything that would come across. I went and did it. So unfortunately, due to financial difficulties, you know, I spent so much time outside, in and out, trying to make sure that I can stay in school. And that became quite difficult for me to manage. And with financial difficulties, I had to drop out. And I remember for me, it was a challenge that now that I've said to my family, I want to be a fashion designer, I really need to make this thing work. And after dropping out, I started hustling a lot. You know, I did videography, I did photography, I did styling. I opened my own blogs just to get my name out there. In 2013, actually, in 2012, I met a guy called Ole, and interned at Ole at Fashion Week, and I learned how to be in the fashion industry. I met a lot of people in the fashion industry, how a real fashion business operates. He had a production manager, he had a pattern maker, he had a cutter, he had a proper setting. You know, I was like, that's how you're supposed to run a business. 2013, I met a guy, we started a brand together, and that brand blew up. And a little bit of money came in, a little bit of fame came in, and we didn't have the same vision. So I left that brand in my depressed state, in my anxious state, couch surfing. I remember one night I said to a mate of mine, "Hey, dude, I'm super depressed. I don't know what to do with myself." And Tshepo the Jean Maker was my Instagram handle. He's like, "Tshepo, you Tshepo the Jean Maker. Make jeans, bro." So that excited me. My purpose was reignited, and I was like, you know, I started going on social media. Something big is coming. Nothing was happening for quite some time, and at the time, a lady I was seeing said to me, "Hey, Tseps, I've got a loan of 8,000 rand that I have access to, and if you want it, we can go and get it." So we went and got the money. I went to downtown Joburg, bought myself fabrication. Went to a friend of mine with 4 machines, created a pattern. I called it the Presidential Slim Fit, which was 100 pairs of jeans. Had my own tag embroidered at the back, Tshepo. And that was the beginning of Tshepo Jeans. I posted on social media, and people started talking about it.
Okay, so now I want to come back to how you got your logo and the crown. Yes,
it was an interesting story.
And why it's not there.
It is at the back.
It's at the back. Okay.
You know, it's on my ring and it's all over my skin.
Okay. Okay.
You know, it was an interesting one when I first moved into Victoria Yards. Victoria Yards, where we currently based, where our central services are, and the space was truly designed and brought alive by a couple of guys who had a vision of investing in town in the city of Joburg. And for me, what stood out was they wanted to build up the area, which is fully flooded with a whole lot of foreigners and local people from the Eastern Cape and everywhere around the country are looking for a better opportunity in Johannesburg, squatting in houses. And they said, you know, Tseps, we want to work with businesses that will employ people and upskill the people within the neighborhood. And for me, it resonated because my grandmother was a domestic worker who left at home at 3 a.m. in the morning, came back to work at 10 p.m. at night. And it was because she was using the public system, the public trains. And for me, I never wanted any child as an entrepreneur, any kid, and every parent who would work under me to go through the same thing. And I believe as a fashion business, what sustainability is, is all about, as a South African, is doing something good for society. And for me, doing something good for society was employing people within the current environment who can walk to work. In 2018, got an opportunity to go to Amsterdam to actually upskill myself in a school called Jeans School, the only denim school in the world. I did a small short course there, came back, and I brought the master tailor and the founder of the school to come and teach my people how to become the best jean makers in the world. So when we create a product, it can compete with any other product there is out there in the world.
Okay, so now you've got your logo, you've got your name, you're getting a bit of fame, you're getting a bit of traction. How do you go from that, which is in the fashion world is quite fleeting? There's the in, it's in now and then it's not. How do you now go from that to properly establishing yourself as a brand that's going to be around for a long time?
For me, I always wanted to build something that's going to last, a legacy. I come from an environmental community of people who probably never had an opportunity to build something that they can pass on to their kids or to people. So I wanted to create something that can outlive me. And I was super, super intentional with what I was building. In 2018, created the logo, which was inspired by my mom, my aunt, and my grandmother, which is the three prongs of the crown, and it was drawn by an artist called Diana Mabulu. And every time when you buy a pair of Tshepo jeans, you're wearing your own crown, you're telling your own stories. And every single thing that I did was I wanted to make sure I do it right. I build it slow, I build it right, so it can last. And I believe that's one of the biggest things that I've learned over the years is that if you build it right, with the right people, with the right team, you can build something that can outlive you. I've got the right mentors around me. I've got the right coaches around me. Robbie Brosen, which is really close to me, him and his people have built a global brand from South Africa, which is Nando's. And I always sit down with him. I'm like, hey, Robbie, how do you do something like this? How do you build it? And he told me one time, he's like, it takes 15 years to build an overnight success. And since then, I've taken that and I've been patient with myself. I've been patient with what I'm doing. And slowly but surely, we are branching out and we're building a business that can last.
Well, we're going to take a break now. What I've heard in this section is that, first of all, that there are a lot of people that are around you that are willing to support your dream and your journey, and it's about reaching out to those individuals. And what Tshepo's done really well is surround himself with those people. We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about how Tshepo takes this to actually clothing some royalty.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.